Hallo, my friends. Hi, mein Hase, mein treuester Fan. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome. Thursday night over here. My name is Angela, and I am the owner and creative energy from Elfen and Helden. I am a premier retailer for Dixie Belle paints over here in Germany, actually. And my shop is located nearby Frankfurt, so that's why it is Thursday night painting. It is about 10 p.m. over here now. So when you join, please let me know where you're watching from. Put it in the comments, and also if you have any questions, put it in the comments also. I will try to answer it straight away. If I'm not doing that, I will come back later and check on your questions and answer them later. Latest tomorrow, because it is pretty late when I'm finished here and I'm probably going to be very tired. So guys, for all the ones who are watching replay, also put hashtag replay in the comments, and I'd highly appreciate if you pop over to my page hi guys, thank you for joining me. Hi Amanda, hi Maru, that's great for joining me. If you pop over to my page and leave me a like there, that'll be fantastic. Okay guys, tonight I am going to stencil some cushion covers like you see here, and this is one I've done already, so you can basically, with the paints from Dixie Belle, you can also paint on fabric. Hello Sabine, you can also paint on fabric. And tonight we've seen a lot of times that we can use the chalk mineral paints, but you can also do that with the Moonshine Metallics, which gives like a beautiful effect. And I've got all the colors here, and I'm probably going to use, hi Michelle, thank you for joining. And so we're going to do that. And for stencils, it's no different than doing it with the normal chalk mineral paints. You may need a coat more, but this depends on how intense you want to have the color. But it's a beautiful sheen. I don't know if you can, I'm going to put that a little closer to the camera. Yes, I think you can see that, you know, how the metallic is gonna come through, and it holds up in the wash. I've tried that. So what you do when with stenciling on fabric, you get best results if you use cotton, pure cotton or something like that. But this cover and also this this cushion here is a blend. It's about 80 polyacrylics and 20 cotton, so it also works on that. I washed it with 30 degrees Celsius, so that's fine. It holds up. Okay, I've got a stencil which is like this mandala type, and this is gonna go right in the middle of that cushion. And I have a kitchen board. This is just like a kitchen board from IKEA. It's my old kitchen board, and it's upgraded into my painting studio now. It's a bit worn out, but it's perfect for painting. I'm going to take that for offloading my brush, because this is no different than stenciling on anything else, you know, when you stencil on fabric. And I've got a piece of cardboard which I'm going to put into my cushion, because just in case the paint bleeds through, that it doesn't bleed through to the back of the cushion. So hi Debbie, thank you for joining. So as I said, if you have any questions to it, just leave it in the comments. So that's nicely in there. And then I'm going to place the mandala. I've got to get up for a second. I'm always eyeballing my things. So I also do t-shirts, rhinestone shirts, as you can see, and stuff like that. And if I would always take out a tape measure, it'll keep me forever. So I'm eyeballing it. And if it's not perfect, I'm not perfect. So that's the way it is. Those things are handmade, and they are not coming out of any factory or something like that. So for me, people can actually see that. So, oh, one thing I wanted to show you. Who is following me the last weeks? We've done that that bin with that iron orchid with that transfer, and it is finished now. I haven't had time to photograph it yet, but it is finished. And see if I can get that up to the camera. Let's see. That's what it is, what it looks like now. So you can just get like a rough idea. So we've done some imprints with stamps and stuff like that. We use some woody bands on top now and on the outside. So this is basically the final result. And I love this transfer from IAD. It's so beautiful, the lemons. Ooh, okay. So that was just that you can see a finished product also. I hope you like that. See if I can get some of the comments. Debbie, hi Laura. Yeah, no, I'm so sorry about that. Just like my page was like, I don't know what happened yesterday. You know, FB sometimes tries to play tricks on me. That's just the way it is. So, okay, I'm going to use a couple of colors from the Moonshine Metallics. And let's see. Those. This is the Deep Woods. It's beautiful, but I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm going to use the Caribbean. Thank you, Laura. This is too much close to it. I love the Steel Magnolia. This is going to go on there. I love the Rosé. It's going to go on there. Going to use some gold, mix it up. Maybe the Wedding Bell. That might look quite cute also. And the silver. Those are the ones I'm going to use. And I've got just like a paper plate. I'm going to put some of the colors out there. And also the Moonshine Metallics, like all the other colors from Dixie Belle, mix them up nicely. And I started to mix them with a stick or with a spoon, because when I shake them, the paint is all in the lid. And when I put a lid, basically, I usually use the paint out of the lid, but if I don't use it up all of it, it's going to stick on the top of the jar, and it's always difficult to open the. So I'm just going to. We won't need that much paint. I'm just gonna put like a spoon on here. This is the Caribbean, just like beautiful shiny blue. This is actually what I used on this cushion here. Then I'm going to have no. I'm so used to shaking the jar, you know, trying to get a bit more organized, and you see, but that one is stuck anyway. I've got to bang it on the floor. Well, I was trying to get better. So, guys, you know me. I keep throwing the things around and dropping the jars and whatever. So this is always chaos painting with Angela. So, but I'm going to take, as this one is shaken up now anyway, with banging it on the floor and shaking it like this. 1 spoon should be fine with this also. I should put that there. Put it on the floor. I'll drop it. I haven't got my jeans on. And the rosé. Let's see if I can get it open. Like this. Yes, that worked. Miss Muscle at work. So, are there any projects you have planned? Oh, I can't see that. Oh, rosé is your fave. Yes, I love it. Rosé is very beautiful. When you paint on furniture or on other things, and basically you could do that here also, you can put like a coordinating color underneath, so the coverage is much better. So for example, when you paint rosé, you could put either tea rose or soft pink underneath. So this is going to cover much better than without. So I think I'm going to use the wedding bell because it's a quite pretty yellow. That's probably going to go nicely with that mandala. So guys, again, if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. So if you want to get all the products, come over to the Dixie Belle page and check for your local retailer. You find your retailer there. So I like that. It's pretty. A little bit more. A little bit more. And I'm gonna get a second plate. I don't want to have the colors mixed up too much. Down here, gold digger, which was used before. I can't get it open like this. Sorry. I'm glad that I've got the basement apartment here in this house. So there's nobody living underneath. I mean, as I said, it is 10 p.m. over here. There won't be anybody banging their paint jars on their head. So they're probably wondering what that noise is, but so I have the basement apartment. Oops. Be careful that you don't spill it on your project before you even started. And now the silver bullet. Oh. Okay, those have been used before I planned on getting a little tidier with my paints. So anyhow, get here the paint out of the lid. As I said, I won't need much paint anyway, and if I need more, I can always reload it. Maybe I will use, just to show you the, should I use the deep woods on here? What do you think? What do you think? Would you like to see it, how it comes out? Got it here, so I may as well use it. Yes, pink champagne is also a good base. It's a bit lighter. So, and this is the deep woods. I think I'm using it just to show you. Also mix it up just to make sure that all the ingredients mix up nicely. So, and the Moonshine Metallics, they are absolutely fantastic. They do have a built-in sealer also, so you don't need to top coat those, which wouldn't be an issue anyway with painting on fabric, but even so, that's just for your information. Okay, so get everything out of the way what I don't need, and baby wipes, you know me. Have my board where I can offload my stencil brush, and then there we go. With what shall we start? Let me think. So this is my stencil brush from Da Vinci, which is a German brush company, and I like those because they have nice bristles and they don't shed, which is perfect. And they are flat, so you can do some nice stenciling. You could use like a sponge brush or something like that, but I prefer using a normal brush for it. So now, what am I going to start with? Which color shall I start with? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Hi, Nina. Thank you for joining. Hi, Laura. There's a couple of people joining. That's great. Thanks, guys. So, which color shall I start with? I will start with the wedding bell, which is the yellow. So I get a little bit on my brush. So this is far too much, so I'm offloading it on that board. And then I can always get some more. So I'm just gonna and then I'm just dabbing up and down. As this paint is pretty runny, I'm not swiping it because otherwise I would get it under the stencil, so I'll have some bleeding. There might some bleeding happening, but as this is handmade. But when you dab upside, basically in a 90-degree angle to the project, that should work pretty fine. So see how that goes nicely on there. And this is the first coat, so that works pretty nicely. We're going to have two coats. We're going to have it dry in between, but you can see that it goes on pretty nicely. Any questions? No, I'm not seeing any questions. Next color I'm going to use is rosé. Using the same brush, offload it, and just gonna go into the next one. It was so humid over here today. We had like not thunderstorm. It was raining last night, and so I thought that it has cooled down a little bit. But at the end, I opened up the windows this morning, and it was just like steaming out there. Yes, I mean, it was a beautiful day today. The sun was shining, but it's very, very humid. So you can blend those colors together. This is basically the idea I'm having. I don't want to have like separate colors going there. I want to have those blended into each other. And basically you stamp on fabric. You may need a little more paint because the paint soaks into the fabric. This is the reason also why this is also the reason why I've put the cardboard in between. Can you do this on any type of material? You basically could. You probably have a little bit of a problem when the fabric is like too textured. But theoretically, you could do that on any. But the recommendation is always to use something like cotton, because cotton grips to the color the best. While this is like a blend, cotton polyacryl, and it worked fine. I washed it and it worked fine. The color didn't come out. What you do after you've when it has all dried, you let it dry overnight or till it's dry anyway. Always depends a little on the temperature and the humidity, obviously. And what you do when it's dry, that you condition it, and this means or you seal it in. You use an iron, and you set the iron to the highest possible temperature for the fabric you're using. And then you just iron over it, and with this, the paint settles into the fibers. So that's what you do. Okay, now I'm gonna come in with some silver. Do some silver. Just gonna come in here. Do some petals in silver. You can also put it in the dryer on high temperature. It just needs basically heat to settle it in. So, and I have this, actually I don't have an iron anymore. I hate ironing and I am useless at ironing. So I make sure that all my shirts and my stuff I don't have to iron. And if I do, I have the heat press, you know, when I do my shirts on, I do it on there. This is my, yeah, this is my secret. I just gave out to you. So guys, after all, I'm German. I'm sometimes lost for words. This is and this is so strange, you know. I'm doing lives in English and in German, and when I do the English lives, I'm looking for the English words. When I'm doing the German lives, I'm just having the English words in my head. This is sometimes so confusing. Yes, and this is my fur baby in the background. Yes, you can hear her. She is like, yeah, there's only 20 minutes. I still have to go a little bit. She usually is my alarm. She lets me know when it's time to finish. So I think I'm going to do those little bits with the deep woods. And I think I'm just going to clean that brush off a little bit in between for that. Just got my baby wipe. And I'm just gonna offload a bit of the silver on here. See how that looks. That's just beautiful color. Go in here. Obviously, that's going on there much more solid than the lighter colors. A dark color mostly covers better than the lighter colors. But that's just pretty. And as this is a mandala, mandalas are very colorful. I don't mind having lots of colors on there. And you can basically see how the metallics turn out on here, which is very pretty. Do you like stenciling? Anybody like stenciling? Just let me know. I find it very soothing. I love stenciling. So, as I said, I don't want to have this, may as well go into the other parts also. Don't need like a complete perfect finish. This on there. Just a little bit of the deep woods. As I said, the dark green is the deep woods. We started with Wedding Bell, went into Rosé, had some Silver Bullet, deep woods, and I'm going to clean it off again a little bit, because when we go to the lighter colors now again, oh, up on the meter. Just that, load it on the baby wipe, make sure there's not so much of the. So now I'm gonna come with my Steel Magnolia. Steel Magnolia is for me somewhere in between gold and silver. Gold Digger is a very rich gold, and let's see, where did I offload it? Somebody told me I didn't upload it at all, didn't I? It's somewhere in between. It's like with a golden touch, just a little bit like an old silver almost. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, with stenciling, the main thing is that you don't have too much paint on your brush. That is the main thing. So if the paint doesn't bleed underneath, you rather go over with a couple of coats. That's the reason I'm always offloading my paint onto that board, which is perfect for that because it's got a little bit of texture, so it grips to the paint and just like takes it off the brush. Because when I take it from the plate, you can see there's quite a bit of paint on there. And if I would start stenciling with it like that, zip under the stencil, even when you have like one of those sticky stencils. So the main ingredient to successful stenciling is going up and down. When you use a juicy paint, if you use paste, that's different. But if you use a juicy paint like this one or like the chalk paints, you go in that dabbing motion. What I do anyway. It's not that you have to, but this is my recommendation for you. It's not that if you want to do it different, you can do it different. But I found for me that works best, and you avoid bleeding or bleed through. And you could also, when you do stenciling, I'm just going to come back with my other hand now. When you do stenciling, you could also, on the first coat, not when you do the fabric, it doesn't work there, but when you work on when you do wood signs or you work on a piece of furniture, something like that, you can just either do the first coat of stenciling with the paint color underneath. So this is then basically would be the one which is bleeding under the stencil and is going to keep then the next coat for bleeding through also. This is basically a sealing of the stencil on your project, which obviously wouldn't work when you have like a blended piece, or when you have something like this behind me, where there's like different colors going on. Then you could use a top coat, just a clear coat to seal it off. That works then really good. And then basically the stencil is sealed, and when you come in with your next coat with the stenciling paint, the color for your stenciling, the chance that it bleeds through more is very rare. Some people use Mod Podge to seal it. I don't like Mod Podge. I've tried it before. I just don't like it. Let's need a little more Steel Magnolia. Just this one. Just get like another spoon. The more you go to the outside, the more paint you're going to use. Yes, this is more, it's going to look pretty. I quite like it already. And there's different types of stencils out there also. There are silk screen stencils where you, they are really easy to use because you hardly get any bleed through with those. But you not that as flexible with those. There are not that many motifs out there, that not many companies doing that. I do basically the stencils myself. I have them in my shop also. And when I have a certain project which needs like a certain thing, I'm pretty flexible, you know, I can do them myself. I've got a cutting machine from doing my shirts also, and I can use that for the for doing my stencils. So that was the Steel Magnolia. Which color didn't we have yet? Let me see. The blue. We didn't have the blue, which is the, I always have to look. This is the Caribbean. They do have Pacific, which is like more of a navy blue, or going into the darker blue direction, and the Pacific is like sea blue. Just this one. Load it. This is probably not going to show up very much on this blue, but we'll try anyway. This might be just like a nice shine. I'll check that at the end. I may go over it with the gold. I think that's what I might do, because that blue on blue is when you have like a tone and tone. That's nice. But I think I'm gonna go for the gold digger. Let's see what you think. Gold digger instead of the blue. I'm not sure if I'm getting all the comments here. So if I'm not getting all the comments, guys, I'm going to come back later and answer them for you. This is sometimes strange. I mean, I'm going over StreamYard now, which makes it a little easier, but at the end it's the platform it's going on, and it's playing sometimes tricks on me. Now what I'm going to do, because there's like those tiny things around, I'm probably gonna go just over those a little with the gold digger. Let's see. Just to finish the outside off. See if that works. See if that works how I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna take another stencil brush now, a little smaller, which is this one, and I'm gonna come in with my gold digger. I'm just gonna see if I get that's too soaked. That's too soaked. I'm just gonna dry that off quickly. Excuse noise, sorry guys. Wood and metallics dry really quick anyway, so yeah. Hi, Krista. So guys, when you work on projects, just let the paints dry on its own. It has a purpose, the drying times. I just did that to so I'm just gonna go on those outside bits a little bit so we can, and then you can see the blue a little better. And then we have all the colors basically on here from the Moonshine Metallics. We use them all. Krista will just join. She is from Litter to Glitter in the US. And she and her husband, you probably also seen her to my Spanish friends, which are on here from Spain and Portugal. They are also doing lives on the Dixie Belle Espanol in Spanish. So if you're a Spanish speaking native, you're welcome to join that page. So, and there's only projects in Spanish on there. So, as my Spanish is very bad, I'm always trying to help out my customers if there's some, because I'm not sure, I don't think by now there's any retailers in Spain by now. I keep looking when people ask me, but I didn't see any yet. So till now, I'm helping them out, and a lot of times I use Google Translator just to make sure they get the right answers from me. But a lot of the Spanish people over here, they speak very, very well English. So, but sometimes with some things, it's just easier if you have it, if you can listen to it in your mother tongue. So, you're welcome, Krista. That's what we're here for. I mean, it's important for all of us, isn't it? And I love it, that I can refer my Spanish-speaking customers to somebody who can really help them, who speak their language properly. So, and it's not Googling their language, which works, but sometimes I want to know what comes out there. But I think Google is now pretty good. With some languages, it works pretty good. So guys, this is very, very soothing. I hope you're not falling asleep. I could stencil for hours. So I think with that gold on the outside, this is just going to give a nice finish. So now I'm going to come back to the inside. I'm going to take, just to speed it up a little, another stencil brush, because I think with the blue on there, that's, yes. 40 minutes, okay. This is my alarm just going off. Did you hear in the background? This is Kiara. Yes. And this is about the time where she thinks the love is going to come to her. So I'm just going to speed it up to show it to you. Yes, sweetie. Yes. And as I said, when you finished your, you let it dry, you do as many coats as you need. And then you let it dry. And down, step into the paints, please. Come here. So I'm just going to show you two. There she is. That's my baby. That's Kiara. Say hello, Facebook. Say hello, Facebook. Say hello. So, off you go. So, let's get to the next color. Which was Rosé. Offloaded. So usually with the second color you don't need to be that careful, because the first coat also was, when you didn't seal it off before, the first coat of paint seals off the stencil, but obviously when you do on fabric it doesn't really seal off, because the paint sinks into the fabric. Wow. Don't step into the paints, please. We had that before. You can basically see that she belongs to the family. She learned that from me, tipping over paints and stuff like that. Still, I'm working a bit quicker now. Just that you don't have to stay on here too long, so you can see what it turns out. Yeah. Yeah. Don't step into the lid. She wants to sit on my lap, which is not a good idea at the moment, as I'm still painting. So I'm gonna come back with the silver bullet. Okay, she got it. Silver bullet. Just gonna go in here. You can see the second coat, it covers pretty nicely now. If you just want to have like shimmer onto it, you could leave it with one coat. You know, you don't have to do two coats. It's you know, it's obviously, it depends on your own taste. So this should be silver bullet and not rosé over it. So first, I think I'm just going to work the lighter colors first, and I'm going to come in with the darker colors at the end. So I'm going to come in with the Steel Magnolia on the outside here, just to cover that. And this is going, I think the metallics are perfect for a mandala or something like that. So thank you, Krista. I'm having a bit of trouble reading the comments from over here, which is, well, it's sometimes from the setup it just doesn't work any different. So there's, but I'm gonna come back later anyway. There's, I'm blind as a bat, basically. For reading, I need glasses now. That's from the age. I'm an old cow. I don't have them on my nose. I can't see anything. Which sometimes is not bad, but so still you can see I'm getting a little juicer on here now. It has sealed it off. I can see it in some areas where the paint has sealed off the stencil. So I'm getting a bit more courageous, so to say. And I'm still always offloading my brush. I don't want to have like too much paint on there. But still, when you work with fabric, you need a little more paint as the fabric soaks up the paint more than if you work on another project. So I've got paint probably in my face now. Sure I have. That's something new. That's something new, me wearing the paint. So I'm gonna come in with the blue on the outside. And this one. And when you have a color which doesn't show up because it's pretty close to the underground, it's coming on, and you put like a lining around like we've done here now with the gold digger on the outside, that that makes it pop again. You see when I take a little more paint, you see when I take the stencil off. Okay, just give me a couple more minutes. And I will reveal this project. It's pretty. Almost done. Just gotta do the gold on the outside and the deep woods in here. I'm not worried about the contamination. It's fine for me. Not for all projects, but for this project, I'm fine with it. So that's it. And on the outside, where's my tiny one? I'll just use the tiny one. However, I'm going to use that for the gold now, because this is going to be the outline. This is going to be the outline. And this is going to make sure that we see a little more of that blue. It's picking up that color now from the stencil itself, but it's still going to be enough to see. I think I'm just going to go over the whole thing just with a little bit of the steel magnolia to blend it in a little bit more. I'm going to leave it like this. That's quite nice, I think. So moment of truth. We're going to leave it. All right. Let's take the tape down. Hi, Betty. Thank you for joining. So, Betty is very busy joining all everybody going live on the Dixie Belle page. So, just take that off. And let's see how that comes out. There we go. I think that is quite pretty. It's a bit juicy in the middle, but I think this just gives like a nice touch to the whole thing. And you can see how nice and shiny the whole thing is. And you can see, like with the gold on the outside, you make the blue pop a little more. So I can't really see it, but a little bit. Can you see the shimmer of the moonshine metallics in the light? So I'm going to let that dry now. And as I said, when it's dry, I'm going to go over it with an iron. You just set the iron onto the highest temperature for the material you put it on. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Michelle. You're sweet, guys. Thank you, Laura. You put it on the highest temperature, which is suitable for the material you're using, obviously. And with that, you really settle the paint into the fabric. Yeah, you can put it in a dryer. I've heard people doing that also. And I use my heat press as I'm doing t-shirts, and it's like a proper heat press. So this is really sealing it in. So when I sell my things, my cushion covers and stuff like that, there's nothing going to happen because it's really settled in. So guys, thank you so much for staying with me and joining me tonight. It's always great having you around. My name is Angela. I am the owner and creative energy from Elfen and Helden. I'm a primary retailer for Dixie Belle paints over here in Frankfurt in Germany. And yes, I'm on the Dixie Belle page, on the Talk Paint 101 page, and well, loads of places around. I do lives in German and in English, and I'd be very happy if you join my page and leave me a like there to get informed when I do my lives. I'd be very happy to see you guys. And yeah, you stay well too, Betty. You have a nice day, afternoon, evening, wherever you're watching from, and I shall get back to your answers or questions in a minute and give you some answers. It is late. I think I am tired. I'm starting to talk rubbish. So, guys, I'll let you go now. Thank you for being with me. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Careful, I'm not tipping everything over now.